multivitamins that have like 50 ingredients and they taste like legit gummy bears. No, bro. Those are not good. Look at the back. Look at the MIGs on those things. It's like 5 milligrams per serving. It's not enough. So I looked at the ingredients list on your stuff, and just the fact that it has everything you need and it has a good amount of it. I think that's key. So did you go through a lot of trial and error when it came to the formulation, or did you have something in mind before you?
Yeah, a lot of trial and error. 100%. Like that was the biggest priority, where first of all, I like wanted everything to be in really high quality, efficacious doses. So like 100%, like a lot of, like there's a lot of people like slam 20 different ingredients into a gummy, and they're all at these like tiny negligible doses. And you read the label, you're like, oh shit, it has like this and B vitamins and like ashwagandha and all this stuff. But it's at such tiny doses, like none of it's doing anything.
It's like 5% of your daily value intake.
Exactly. So yeah, like I just three ingredients for me: DHM, milk thistle, prickly pear, all at their like efficacious doses. And like my biggest thing in making this product was, there's so much stuff in our cabinets for like in terms of vitamins. It's like, you read something in some article or you like watch a podcast about something. Most people will like buy a $20 product on Amazon. And it's like, like I've been taking zinc for years. I don't know, like, is it doing something? Is it not doing something? For me, like the game I'm playing with e-commerce and like direct to consumer is that the only shot my business has of succeeding is someone reordering my product. Like it doesn't really do anything for me if someone buys it once. So I need it to work right away, right when someone buys it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like it's like, people take it at night, they wake up and they feel the difference like within hours. So I kind of needed it to work and needed it to like sort of be like shocking in how it works.
Yeah.
A lot of trial and error.
You were the guinea pig, I assume?
Dude, I was the guinea pig. I was the guinea pig. A lot of my friends were the guinea pigs. It was funny. I was, cause I think like a lot of the like magic.
Oh, I got you still. You're good.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of the magic with these gummy brands is like sort of just like placebo. You take this thing and you're just like, oh, like I guess that helped me sleep.
Right.
Dude, I was doing like wild stuff. I was getting my friends hammered and giving like half of them placebo gummies.
No.
And, yeah. Like we go to like music festivals, and I'd have like 4 friends come with me, and I'd be like, I'm paying for your drinks all night. Like we're testing the gummies tonight. And we'd go out and like we'd drink, and then we'd go to bed. We'd all be like staying at a hotel or something. And then I'd wake up and we're like, let's see who it worked for. And it was almost like comical. Like I remember I went with like 2 friends this one time to go watch a DJ, and I gave one of my friends a placebo gummy, one of him like a Lucky Lad gummy. In the morning, it's like buddy with the Lucky Lad gummy, he's like shaking his like protein shaker bottle like up at 7 a.m. And like the other guy's just like passed out in bed. I'm like, it's comical how the like double blind study worked.
Bro, have you posted these double blind studies? Like, or have you been interested in like doing like a mass, going to whether it's a festival or a concert or something like that, and taking a group of friends and like studying them and doing some research on it?
A bunch. I actually recorded a bunch of really funny content around it, and I'll be probably posting in the next couple of weeks or so. But yeah, I recorded a lot of the stuff where I'm giving people placebos. I recorded a hilarious one where I got some random dude at a bar to I like bought him a bunch of drinks, and I made him run a marathon in the morning.
No way.
Just using Lucky Lad. So
that's amazing.
A bunch of good stunt type stuff like that.
Oh, I can't wait. That's great. And how is everything going from an econ standpoint? I mean, things going well?
Things are going well, man. Really focusing on I think like selling a product online is really powerful because you have a lot of line of sight as to like who's buying it, why people are buying it. You can communicate with them. So it was really important. Like, there's a lot of businesses that launch in retail or start selling in stores, and, store buys it, they ship out all these products, and it's kind of like a black box. You don't know how people are receiving it. You don't know like why people bought it, the demo of people who bought it. Like you have kind of rough guesses. But for me, it's like I have a list in my Shopify of every single person who purchased. And like I try to go through and call every single one of them. It's like, why'd you buy it? Like, who are you? Like, where do you live? And
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, so it's given me some pretty crazy insights just doing that, learning about why people are buying it. I think the biggest thing was that like I came into the brand with a bunch of assumptions about like, oh, it's gonna be this sort of like bro in his 20s who's buying it to like sort of like work hard, play hard type thing.
Hmm.
And overwhelmingly, it's been like, like kind of fluctuates between like 60 to 70% of women buying it, and like older women, like 30 to 35. And
Sure.
impacting a lot of these people, it's like nurses, moms, like people with like pretty demanding jobs who are using it very functionally. So I thought it was going to be like a crazy emotional purchase. Someone's like, oh, like cool, like, wacky looking brand for hangovers. I'll give this thing a shot, try it, it works.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are just like, they're a lot more well informed than I thought they were. Like, people know what DHM and prickly pear are. People are like researching ingredients and doses. People know that they need DHM for like morning after nausea. And I also like kind of didn't really like know this going into the brand, but found out that a lot of women are like, like physiologically can't swallow pills, so they search exclusively for gummy brands. So
Whoa.
that's something I found out through like calling a bunch of people, then digging in, doing the research, and like kind of connected with a female audience through that.
Yeah, that's genius. I mean, my wife, she hates pills. So like
Mm.
everything she takes is gummies. And spoiler alert, the gummy, bullshit brand that I was talking about, it's hers. She drink, but she's the type of one where she's on the placebo side. Like, no, I feel better. I definitely, I could tell there's zinc in here. I could feel the zinc. I go, can you really though? So there's no way of talking her out of it because she just enjoys the orange and strawberry flavored gummies or whatever it is. Um, but I could totally see that for sure. Especially you mentioned, nurses, first responders, hospitality. 100%. I could see that because I used to be a bartender and a server, and I would even do that like because there is a difference, right? If you're in the hospitality industry, or really if you work late nights or whatever, if you work till 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and then you have one beer and you try to wake up at 7 a.m., it's a different level than if you were to go to bed at 8 p.m. with a beer and wake up at 6 a.m. I mean, there's a big difference in that time gap of sleep, even just a couple hours at night. It's because we talked about circadian rhythm, right? There's a lot of science and studies behind the second the sun goes down, your body starts to unwind. Well,
Mm.
if you go downstairs and you're at the bar and you're doing shots of tequila and you start dancing around, well, guess what? Your body's like, oh, this dude ain't going to sleep. Okay, let's start dancing again. So now that circadian rhythm is all fucked up. So that's why those ingredients you mentioned are so beneficial, because it not just helps you unwind, but it helps that recovery the next day. Because that is what a hangover is, right? It's your body essentially pushing out these toxins, and
To-
it's not meant to do that. So that's where the nausea comes in, and you feel fatigued. It's because your body has been trying to do this while you're sleeping. And when you're sleeping, as we've learned through these protocols, you're supposed to be like shut down, recovery time. You shouldn't be doing shit. There should be no stimulation. It should be calm. It should be peaceful. Insert meditation music here. It should be relaxing. You should have no light coming in. Like, it should be this Zen moment. And then when you wake up, you go outside, you hit the sun right away, and now your body's like, okay, it's time to hunt saber-toothed tigers. Like, we're ready now, But a couple drinks will throw that off, right?
Totally. Absolute chaos. Like I remember I used to drink and it was like, I'm waking up every like 30 minutes, like anxious, jumping up, like checking my phone, like did I story anything? Puts
Right.
phone back down, like
Yeah.
keeps drinking water. Now I'm like waking up to pee every 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm just like awake the whole night.
Yeah. 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 That is, that's the challenge of like those electrolytes, right? Drinking those beforehand is because that's kind of what it's doing. It's trying to push out and hydrate you and push out everything. So when you wake up, you don't have as much energy as you think. You might be hydrated, but you're not ready to conquer the day with those IV drinks.
No,
Like
way.
Pedialyte used to be my go-to, but I learned this trick back in the day where, you would always, once you're about to calm down, you do 2-to-1. So 2 glasses of water compared to 1 drink you have. So if you have a glass of wine, you do two glasses of water, and then you do your wine. And then right before you go to bed, you chug Pedialyte. And then when you wake up, you chug Pedialyte. That is a horrible disaster if you're trying to get work done. Not only are you going to be peeing every 30 minutes, but you're still going to feel nauseous and exhausted, and your body's gone through this train wreck. And yeah, it's important to have something in place if you're going to go ham, right? And I mean, is Lucky Lad, is it meant for? I mean, I'm sure there's no minimum or maximum unless you tested it, but is it meant for the person that just has a glass of wine? Is it meant for the person that goes hard? Does it not work after 10 shots of tequila? Like, what have you done these kind of tests?
Yeah, totally. So it has like some effect in sort of every case. I found that in most cases it worked the best on people who kind of had less than 5 drinks.
Mm.
So anyone who has like 1 to 5 drinks on a night out, it like will almost feel like you didn't drink when you woke up.
Wow.
So like that amount of alcohol at like the doses of DHM and prickly pear that are in the gummies, it will like basically metabolize all the alcohol or like nearly all the alcohol before you wake up. So,
Wow.
like I've had like 4 or 5 drinks, taken the gummies, gone to bed, had like, 6, 7 hours of sleep and woke up and you just like forget you drank, you feel that alert. More than
Sick.
that, if like people are doing like, blackout drunk level amounts of alcohol, it's like nothing can help you.
Yeah.
But like even in that case, like you drink a ton, it does help. Like maybe you won't throw up, you'll feel like a lot less nauseous, but you'll still have like a pretty killer headache. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was like there are definitely some choices I needed to make, and like what kind of ingredients I put in this thing. There's like a million different elements of the hangover. There's like the dehydration, there's a poor sleep, there's like the stomach acid issues and like digestion issues you get. Mine is a lot more focused on nausea, anxiety, headaches, and alertness. So I just basically wanted to make the product the best product out there at helping people be more productive in the morning.
Yeah.
So a lot of like the brain fog issues you get, and just like the not being able to get out of bed, and like the painful anxiety, and just like the nausea where you're just like, I just need to chill for a few hours. If I could just get rid of those like extreme feelings, and could help people work and not be burdens on our economy anymore.
Yeah. What was that? What was that statistic that you did on TikTok? That was great.
Dude, it was crazy. It was like tens of billions of dollars a year.
That's so funny. Well, and I mean, it makes total sense too. I mean, because if someone's not productive, right, during the day, I mean, obviously that's going to take effect on whether it's their business or the company that they work for. So it's a real thing. And to tell people to stop drinking, that's probably not going to happen. So we might as well fix the root cause, which is, I forget the statistic, but I think it's like 86% of Americans have over 4 drinks per week. That's a lot.
It's
So
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It seems like there's two different things kind of happening at the same time right now, because it was like the research was kind of convoluted in terms of like what's going on in America with alcohol. Because like my personal experience is that I'm going out in like some of these like coastal elite cities, and a lot of people, like I said, like you go to dinner with a big group of people, like maybe 1 or 2 people aren't drinking anymore. A lot of people are doing the sober curious thing. People are doing dry January, sober October. You read these things about Gen Z drinking like 10 to 20% less than the generation before them, like drinking age Gen Z.
mhm.
So there's that trend in like a lot of these like wealthier, dense coastal elite cities in America. But then you like read about all this like Bud Light Modelo stuff where everyone else in middle America is drinking more than ever. So
Yeah,
there's kind of these like two converging things
yeah,
happening at the same time. I think like like one crazy thing that like I always think about is like have you ever seen the show Mad Men?
oh yeah,
So like I always think about Mad Men as like, you watch that show and it's like set in the 50s, and you're like, it's so insane how like ingrained cigarettes were in like their day-to-day life, where they're in the office smoking a cigarette, they like leave work like between a meal in restaurants, everything like that. So
hmm hmm
I don't know if people are going to like stop drinking anytime soon, but I definitely think that there'll be like a time in the not so distant future where we'll be like, it's insane how often, how much, and in like how many settings people drink. Like people are
yeah,
drinking in planes, like people are drinking like at work or like after work on like middle of the week. I think stuff like that will start to feel crazy to people fairly soon.
Yeah.